who are your accountability partners? And one thing that we're seeing in these complex, because this is the reality, like family businesses are not just going to market and selling, right? Unless there's like a health event, which means you're almost a little too late to get like all the money out of the business. So you either have to have a proactive plan of you're going to sell or transition in 5 years. You're going to take as much money out that you can for the next 5 years, but then you're going to eventually sell, or you're going to transition in an estate matter, which means you're going to gift these shares to the next generation in part, or transition and, sell them back to the company in some capacity. But when we're looking at this, there are legal issues. There are accounting, like nobody wants to pay taxes. So we want to do it in the most tax advantaged way for everyone involved. They don't want to burden their family. They don't want to burden the company. But then there's also valuation issues. There's also, potentially investment issues when you have the money coming in. And we have seen, and I think you can talk towards it, that this is a time, at least once a year, maybe even twice a year, to bring all of these people together so that we're saying, hey, are we going to have a tax issue? Hey, are we going to have a legal issue? Like, how do we make it so that, and when you bring them all to the table in a concerted effort, you then are not going to do something that legally messed up things, accounting messed up things. But who are these accountability partners that you want to see at the table, regardless of the transition, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So on the business side, it starts with kind of that treasurer, CFO type role, depending on the business, whoever they have, right? They're likely going to know the numbers better than sometimes the business owner themselves. So we need to see them at the table so they can walk through, hey, here's where we're at, or here's what we're projecting to be, here's what we think next year could be, those sorts of things. If they have any sort of external accounting auditor of any kind, that's also fantastic to kind of, again, validate that, hey, these are real, we're not seeing any issues or risks to the business that someone could access cash in some way or shape or form. The broader management team, I think if we get to the point where we're actually considering selling, then you can bring in some of those other key stakeholders, whether it's a marketing person, whether it's a chief operating person, to say, hey, listen, we're potentially going down this path. Here's what it means for the broader team. If we do, is it a payout? Is it they want to keep everyone at their salaries and then maybe plus some, but not necessarily the first meeting if we're kind of having this discussion. Usually it's a little bit more down the line. But then some of those external partners I was mentioning, obviously the external accounting, CPA, auditor is helpful. A financial advisor and an estate planner, especially for two different reasons. One, not to lead necessarily the business valuation side of it, to say, hey, the business is worth X and we're going to get it. But then, okay, we agree the business is going to sell for $10 million. Okay, business owner, you're getting X amount of it. Let's just say 7 million of the 10. Great. Have the business side of the people leave. Hey, business owner, what are you now looking to do? Because when this 7 million comes in, it's day one, we have $7 million. It's not likely that it's going to trickle in unless there's some kind of agreement where there's a 3-year, 5-year payout type thing. But hey, day one, we're going to get a wire for $7 million, or you're going to get a wire to your bank for $7 million. What are you looking to do? What are the plans for it? A lot of these conversations need to take 1 to 2 years a minimum before I feel like everyone's kind of on the same page on what's going to happen, and all the right structures can be in place, whether you need a trust for your self and your spouse, whether you want trust for kids and grandkids, if you're looking to do what's called a donor advised fund, if you want to be charitable and get that donation in, right? These are conversations where you shouldn't just make a knee-jerk reaction and go, oh, I got $7 million. I need a foundation. I need a trust right away. You may not, depending on what you're looking to do, or depending on what your needs are and what the family's issues are or aren't, if you will. But having those conversations over a few different time periods help kind of bring out any issues that, hey, look, I thought I wanted to do this after talking about with my spouse, after talking about with my kids. I think we want to do this instead. Okay, great. I'm glad we didn't just jump into things and then do this. So a year to two is kind of what I like to see as kind of like a minimum before we actually go to sell. And then that will allow us to then say, hey, looking ahead, are there estate issues that are going on, right? earlier this year, we didn't know what was going to be as part of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act as far as estate planning. Would those estate planning thresholds drop? Would they stay the same? Would they go higher? So we were talking with business owners like, hey, listen, we don't know the answers now. When we do, we should meet to see if this changes your decisions and what you're looking to do in the future.
Yeah. And I think that it should make business owners feel more comfortable about the fact that this is a multi-year process. Like, this isn't a make a decision today. This is start to figure out like what, like even start to envision what you would do with the money. Would you travel? Would you take the family on trips? Would you, start to donate to things that you love? Either former college institutions or educate, like whatever your passion is. I think it starts to get them to understand that there is life after this business.
Right.